Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Space Case, the space opera stream or the space opera podcast, depending on how or where you are watching or listening to this. Welcome back. This is session 3. This is a Stars Without Numbers role-playing game campaign, kind of a sci-fi space opera thing that we're all doing. And of course, I'm joined by my wonderful cast here on episode 3 today. We have Ruben from Kid Tested Mother Approved. How you doing, Ruben?
What's going on, everybody?
We have a new player entering the arena. We have Rara, the most famous comedian from Guam. How you doing, Rara?
Ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah, great to have you. We have Falseries, Dungeon Master for our Wizarding World of Harry Potter Dungeons & Dragons stream, Ilvermorny Pukwudgie Adventures. How are you today, sir? Oh, you're on push to talk. Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. My other alt button wasn't working, but hello. I am False and I am doing well today.
Good to have you. And last but not least, we have Jake, official Meaty Mike's spokesperson and professional troll. How are you doing today, Jake?
I am doing well.
And so Ruben is playing Guy Flanell, our lovable grandpa space station attendant mechanic type figure. Jupiter is played by Jake. He's a large, stupid-fingered man from the war planet of Kanos.
It's based on a true story.
Falseries is playing Hikari Jinsoku, the hotshot pilot from the Ichiko City Pilots Academy. And last but not least, Rara is playing Karate Junction, a warrior also from the war planet Kanos. But she has a little twist, which we'll get to soon. Let me change the music here real fast so we have some real music going. But yeah, welcome back to everyone. If you're tuning in to the podcast, thanks so much. If you're tuning in on YouTube, we really appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're live with us right now, hello! I see Hayden is watching in chat. He says he listened to the rest of the episodes today. Thank you, Hayden. Let's do a quick recap, though. So last time when we left off, we kind of left our heroes, if you could call them that, in a precarious situation. Basically, the ship that you were riding on, the Nightingale, this large cargo ship, had some sort of accident while in metadimensional space. Something happened where the whole ship shook and the power went out. You heard this huge boom and crash, and it knocked you out of metadimensional space back into regular space. And left you with nothing but emergency power and life support systems. And this is a big transport ship, so there's all these people, who have purchased transport on here, people who are on here that are shipping cargo, and there's kind of this common area of the ship where the people who are on there for transport, are allowed to be, and they kind of gathered you up and told you, we're not sure what's going on with the ship. It seems like it's just a mechanical issue, trying to solve it. And while they're telling you this, you all snuck away to the cargo hold, following the Dust Wolves, a mercenary group, very obviously mercenaries, openly carrying weapons and wearing armor on this ship. They snuck away to the cargo bay, as they've been doing a lot, and you all have been suspicious, so you snuck back there to see what they were up to. You got into some trouble, eventually made it to the cargo bay, got in a little scrap with one of the Dust Wolves and actually killed him. And just as you were doing so, another large crash shook the ship. While you were in this cargo bay, sparks started flying through from the outside hull as if someone were welding their way into the ship. So you hacked your way into the secure cargo bay. There's a second high security cargo bay in the back with a separate airlocked entrance. You hacked your way into there to hide from this whatever was coming through the wall, and you watched through the window of this airlock door from this highly secured cargo bay as an android woman knocked a piece of the wall inside, and everything just starts floating and whipping around as the vacuum of space rushes into the ship, and soon it's completely filled. That whole cargo bay was basically just space inside, and cargo is floating around, and this android woman comes in from the outside of the ship. She came to the door, the airlock of the private secure cargo bay where you all were, and started punching her way in through the door, which she quickly gave up on. She pulled a little jack out of her wrist, plugged into the security terminal, and just stood there with a blank face, which you can only assume means she was trying to hack her way into this door. And that's, I think, right about where we left you. The three of you are in this hallway at this like security airlock, and the hallway leads back behind you to a second airlock and into the private secure cargo bays. You can still see the woman standing there with this blank look on her face, things floating around behind her in the cargo bay. You're not sure how much time you have until she's able to hack through that door.
Okay.
What does the next door look like?
It's not as secure. It is still a secure door, but it's open, and you can see like this like bigger, wider hallway opens beyond it, and it seems like it has smaller bays, like 6 bays on each side doors, but you can't quite see it all. And then down at the far end of that, you can like see down the hallway through this secure cargo bay. It is dark because the ship's on emergency lighting, but it's still pretty well lit in there, and you can see like something on the far back end, like some sort of machinery on the very far side of the cargo bay from you, like the opposite end. But beyond that, you'd have to walk in there to get a better look.
Hikari hurries up and grabs Jupiter and tells him to go get Guy and go into the other cargo hold, and he'll try and find something here that might be able to jam the doors.
Okay, does Hikari have a program skill level 0 or higher? Or you want to physically jam the doors?
Yeah, physically jam the doors, something to put as much material between us and her as possible.
So this is just like an airlock. It literally like cocoon, like down out of the ceiling. It's fairly smooth. It's extremely thick metal. You're not sure what you could do physically to secure it closed. I mean, you could, I guess, find debris to pull back into the hallway. But you would, I mean, the only place to get stuff, there's nothing in here. This is just an empty metal hallway leading back to the secure cargo area.
Okay, he'll just do a quick glance around the room and head back towards the door if that we're all heading.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch you all over to a different map real quick. I guess I need to add your tokens real fast, so let me grab those. Oh, you know what? I don't know if we have a token for Rara yet. Let's see. Let's try to see. If y'all want to grab a character art for me real quick and drop it into our Discord chat real fast, that'd be great, so we can have a quick token set up for y'all. Everyone watching at home, we're gonna go on a really quick 2-minute break while we get this character art sorted out. We come back, we'll go to a little map of the cargo bay. You can all see a little better what's going on. Okay, everyone, we are back. Thank you so much for waiting patiently while we got a few things set up. We're a little behind tonight, but that's okay. So, yeah, you should be able to see the map now. So, let me flip over to our map page. I think our names are going to be all messed up here, which is fine. Just going to take them out. So, yeah, you step through like this second door, and the cargo bay stretches out a long ways ahead of you. Maybe 100, 200 feet, all the way to the back. And I'm sorry, you can't see any machinery in the back. You just see a larger airlock door marked very clearly airlock, or airlock inside at the far, far end of the hallway. And then you see, it seems like 6 doors lining kind of the length of the hallway. You assume probably each one leads to like a cargo bay pod. And you just as you kind of step in, you don't know if it's from the android woman or what. You'd assume that's probably what it's from. The first 2 doors in the hallway, like, and like slide open, these gigantic thick metal doors. You can't really see what's in the 2 kind of, chambers that have opened on the left and right of the hallway, just, maybe 30, 40 feet down from you. But you can hear from the door from the right, like a growling sound, like a the door on the left. So let's jump to Rara Karate. You are laying in this cargo hold where you have stowed away with your whatever kind of little blankets and supplies you have brought along. I'll reveal it to you. So you're in this left cargo hold here.
Okay.
Has become kind of a makeshift. Did that reveal it all to you?
Yep. Yeah.
I don't think they can see it, but you can. Oh yeah, they can. Okay. So yeah, you've kind of made this like makeshift bedroom in here. There's no windows to the outside, so you really have no idea what's going on. All you didn't, I think, I don't know. You tell me. Did you expect it to lock? Were you like ready for the long haul to be like locked in here until you got to where you're going?
I wasn't sure what to expect. I just kind of prepared for whatever was going to happen.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I just kept a bunch of shit with me.
So yeah, you found out you're happy you brought the supplies because you soon found out that like the door slides shut and you are like locked in here, and you've probably been locked in here for a couple weeks now as the ship traveled away from Kanos. But luckily you brought some food and some supplies. You've probably been like peeing and pooping in a corner, you know. It probably doesn't smell great in here, but the door like slides open.
Right.
And you hear 3 people conversing at the end of the hallway.
Okay.
What do? Do you want to step out and confront or like hide back in there?
I go up to like the door on the side and I try to like hear what's going on.
Okay, cool. So
like outside.
We'll jump back to you in a second then. I don't think it
Okay.
Well, you notice what's in the cage across from you. Which
Okay.
maybe prevents you from coming out. I won't reveal it until they go and check on it.
Okay.
What it is.
So I figure Hikari's messing with like the control panel still, so I'm literally carrying Guy and running down this hallway.
Yeah.
And I do kind of glance in the left door and see Rara, I'm assuming.
Yes, you see Kara, like a woman just standing there, and you notice that
Right.
coming out from like the bottoms of her pants are not like shoes, I'm assuming. Maybe there are shoes on them, but you can tell she has prosthetic legs of some sort
Okay.
when you glance. But you kind of turn and look to see her, but before you're able to react to her, the snarl from your right makes you jump as you turn to see. Let me reveal the map here for y'all. Inside of the cargo bay to your right is a gigantic cage with a 10-foot long Bengal tiger just like pacing back and forth with this angry look on its face, looking out into the hallway. Now, none of you have ever seen a tiger. You maybe have probably heard about them. They are incredibly rare. Maybe 50 of them still exist. And you all are aware too that these cargo holds are for people who are very rich and have extremely delicate cargo. You know what I mean?
So I'm kind of envisioning Jupiter is literally carrying Guy, probably by the back of his shirt, like a suitcase, like a briefcase, and running down this hallway to get away from the airlock being opened. He sees Rara, and it makes him stop, but he, just the forward momentum and clumsiness makes him go the extra few feet, look to the right, see the tiger, and then throw Guy out of shock farther down the hallway till he's landing probably down here somewhere.
So you toss him down past the doors as you like jump from this tiger growling.
Yeah, literally just like and then so like I envision Jupiter pretty much standing directly in front of the tiger.
It is caged. It seems like it's secure. It just gives you a fright. The last thing you expected to see here on this spaceship.
Yeah, and then that's where Jupiter will stay staring in shock for a couple minutes.
Okay.
I guess I hear Guy's body thump down the hallway for no reason, and I turn back and I see Juniper staring at this door. And I'm like, what's going on? What happened to Guy?
Guy's kind of chilling at the end of the hallway, and he kind of just gives like a thumbs up. He's like, I'm good.
So now that the initial shock has worn off a little bit, I guess Hikari's still unaware of the tiger and hears this. You still hear the snarling, I guess. Would you ask them about that or anything?
Yeah, I would have been like, what do you see in that room? Over. But keeping an eye on the back, though.
It's a giant cat with black marks on it.
I would know what a tiger is, right?
You can roll a no intelligence check to see. Like I said, you probably have heard rumor. I
imagine I battled an esports team that had tigers in their name.
I mean,
That would be cool,
possibly, yeah. But like I said, it'd probably be more like a mythical creature, as most people just probably assume they don't exist anymore.
Okay, no intelligence.
No intelligence check yet.
Nope.
Check result was a 4. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah.
You are not sure by the description. Still, like, you get a picture of what's going on in there, and it's a little disconcerting, but you don't know exactly what a tiger is. Or if you do know what a tiger is, you couldn't put that description to the name tiger. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know.
So I go over and look inside the cave. Look inside both rooms.
So you're actually more shocked by seeing Karate standing there, because they didn't mention that there's a woman in one of these cargo holds. So like you walk and like check the tiger, and you kind of like, oh, and then you look the other way, and then you're like, oh, and Karate's just standing there in the door, like kind of hidden back from the doorway a little bit.
I turn to Guy and Jupiter like, there's a woman in here. You guys realize that, right? Or would I know you're, do you look feminine?
Yeah, you can tell I have feminine features.
Jupiter is just like looking back and forth, like hectically, like, big cat.
Okay, I tell Juniper to go check what's at end of the hall real fast. And I tell Guy I motion for Guy to come closer.
Guy gets up and he kind of runs forward.
So just then 2 more doors, the next 2 set of doors like slide open further down the hallway.
Yeah, go check those doors, and I don't know what we're going to do, but
Guy kind of goes, I have a plan. What if you go check those 2 doors and I'll stay here with the nice lady and the cat?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So real quick, Karate, give us a description of how, like, these people have literally not even tried to talk to you. They're just like running through the ship, like frantically telling each other what to do. They're obviously frantic as hell. How are you like reacting as you're just watching this from inside of the cargo hold?
Well, at first I was like afraid that it was gonna be like some, some workers on the spaceship or like employees of Cervantes, who, and then I realized that they're just a bunch of idiots who don't know what they're doing. And also I'm concerned about the tiger across from me because I'm not sure how secure the hold is now. Is it my action?
Yeah, I mean, we're not really in combat, so it's just kind of free form play. Yeah, so if you want to move and do something, say something, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I move out into the hallway, and I go, who the hell are you guys? And what are you doing down here?
You see like me on Hikari's face is like he's scared to death, and he points to the other end of the hall. And he says, Lady Death is on the other end of that hallway. We have to get the fuck out of here now.
And Guy kind of goes like, oh, you know what? Let me introduce ourselves. My name is Guy. This is Harry Carey. That's Jokester. And he's kind of like, he's like nodding and he's just like smiling.
This is like a 90-some-year-old man, by the way, like introducing these people to you.
Okay, Grandpa. My name's Karate Junction. I'm a warrior, sworn enemy of Cervantes Corporation. How do you do?
How you doing there, Carrot Cake?
So let me ask you this.
So what are you?
Sorry to interject. Do you have any openly? Is your clothing or anything you're wearing openly marking you as being a former Canosian military member from Canos? Would you say?
No, I do have a steelworkers union helmet that I've got on me.
Okay. So yeah, Jupiter, you recognize that right away. You know immediately this person is from Canos.
Yeah.
You don't mention it though.
I'm just still in shock, staring at the big cat, and then thinking about the big, scary lady coming down the hallway at us.
Okay. So
Seeing the lady in the uniform that I recognize, I'm still used to seeing that on a daily basis. It doesn't register with me as like odd just yet.
Sure. And I'll stop interrupting your roleplay, but just as like as Karate's like kind of introducing herself, and Guy and her are kind of chatting, like the third set of and final set of doors, except for the very back door, like the end of the hallway door, like 2 more doors like slide open, these giant airlocks in these cargo bays.
So real quick, what kind of doors are to the cargo holds here?
They are also huge, thickly secured doors. You're not sure. You can make a check to see if you know if they're airlocks or not. They don't say airlock or anything on them, but they're large, like with like kind of like metal teeth that like lock into place. Maybe 3-foot steel with concrete in the middle.
I think too, Guy notices that Jupiter is looking at the cat, and he kind of looks at Jupiter. He's like, "You're not gonna try and touch that, are you?"
So Jupiter is kind of I mean, I can see that it's in a cage inside the door, right?
Yeah, you can tell it's caged. It is like pacing, like just looking at you with this like evil look in its eyes, you know, like a tiger does. And sometimes like even like snarls and paws at the cage, and the whole cage kind of rattles. It's like just like thin metal bars, but it is seemed to be fairly secure from what you can tell after your initial. Go ahead.
Karate's looking at all this go down, and says, "Hey, I don't know much about bears, but I don't think you should be rattling their cages like that." So I guess like I look at the lady through the airlock, trying to get in, and realize all the stuff floating around behind her. And hey guys, why are you being chased? And should I be worried about this?
Hikari goes on his he's looking at the far end of the hallway frantically, and he's like, a bunch of the crew quarters just jettisoned off the ship. I think like a couple dozens of people are dead, maybe hundreds, I don't know. And what followed was her, and she's been coming to get us ever like since she came into the ship.
So Jupiter's gonna like just frantically turn away from the cat and look towards Karate and just shout, "No air," and then point towards the other doors down the hallway away from the lady, and then start to back towards that doorway.
Like back towards the far end away from the android woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like move farther away towards the doors where it might save our lives.
And Guy's kind of like faintly crying, like very, very subtly, and he's like, "I killed a man."
All right, yeah, I'm like, all right, let's I'm out of here and start packing up my stuff and heading for that same door at the far end of opposite of the android lady.
Okay, Karate like starts packing a few things into like a pack and like whips it over her back and like pushes through and like, "I'm out of here, guys," and like starts pushing further down the cargo bay hallway. As you walk by the next 2 doors, you can see what's inside. Obviously, because the doors have slid open now. On your left, Karate, as you pass, you see a gigantic tank, like this big electronic tank with like wires and conduits running out of it, like linked to this gigantic like human-sized refrigerator, very futuristic looking refrigerator type thing, and also like a console next to it. And inside, through like the clear glass of the pod, you can see there's a completely naked, like beautiful man, like Ewan McGregor in his prime, like very like super cut and like naked with his eyes closed, like laying kind of reclined back in this pod that's connected to all this shit around it. On the
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That's right. The last thing is on the right, you see just a large, maybe 5 foot by 5 foot wooden and metal crate.
Okay, hey guys, are you seeing this?
Are you all like following her at this point?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
following everything she says. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get as far away from the opposite door as possible.
Okay, so yeah, she asks you if you see it.
Is he,
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
guess I can move my character, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize I could do that. Okay. All right. Okay, this is pretty freaky. Should we try to help that dude? I mean, it seems like he's probably not supposed to be down here.
All right, so before we start messing with that, Jupiter wants to look at the 2 doors we just passed through, the double doors here, and see if there's anything that stands out, like a control panel or anything.
The only control panel you see is the very large one at the beginning of the hallway, like where you came in, and you see a small one at the very, very back door of the hallway.
Okay, so there's nothing indicating that I can shut these doors like at will.
No, and I will say those were actually closed like halfway when you came in, or you could only see through the window in them when you came in, and like with all the doors opening, those opened as well. Like you're assuming it's probably this android woman getting closer to hacking into this entire cargo bay as like each set continues opening. So now it's fully open except for the very, very end of the hallway. And yeah, you can't see any way to close them. They're again like just big airlock, metal doors with teeth that close together.
Okay. At this point, Guy has kind of walked into where the sleeping guy is, and he's like knocking on the glass. He's like, "Excuse me, we can see your bits. Like, wake up, please."
There's no response from the man inside. He seems to be slumbering peacefully.
I'll go into the room with the crate and check that out.
Okay, you want to pop open the crate?
Sure, if that's possible.
It seems like the lid it's just an old kind of rusty crate. It seems like the lid is just stuck, not necessarily locked. So why don't you make an exert, if you want to try and pry it, make an exert strength check for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this is a 6 instead of a 7 to succeed. So, Ra, since you haven't played the Stars Without Number before, on these skill checks, you don't roll a d20 like Dungeons & Dragons. We roll 2d6. Which it rolls for you automatically. But basically the baseline is a 7 or better is almost always a success. A 6 is like a success, but like something bad happens as well. And then 5 and lower are a fail normally. But so he got an 11. So yeah, you just like, boom, like with your adrenaline, just rip the top off of the stuck metal crate. And you start going through this like packing material. And inside you see a huge, beautiful Coda brand Coda Drone X, brand new, and mounted on the bottom of it is this like beautiful semi-automatic rifle.
Okay, I immediately pick up the rifle and try and activate the droid.
It's mounted into the drone. It's literally just a barrel coming out of the bottom of the drone and a clip coming out of the side of it. But next to the drone is a controller pad.
Okay, I'll pick that up immediately.
Okay, you pick it up. Do you want to try and power it on?
Yes.
Okay, so you pick it up, you click the button, and it just like powers on. You can see the drone like blinking with a green light now inside of the box. And let me check to see what you need to make to fly it real fast. Real fast here. I believe it's a program. I think you can possibly use your pilot skill too.
That'd be very convenient and very helpful.
Piloting a drone requires either a cybernetic drone control link, which you don't have, which is like an implant, or a control link can put a pilot up to 1 drone plus the user's program skill. Drones consume Type A power cells, so it seems like it's fully charged as you like look at the little power battery emblem on the controller. It shows you it has like 3 bars. So you must spend your main action each round to command the drone to either move or shoot. Uncommanded drones remain stationary if piloted via control link, while handheld units run a 2 in 6 chance of crashing if the drone operator fails. Spotting a drone, drone combat. Where does it say what we need to do to fly a drone? So, weapons all use intelligence as the controlling attribute and use the better of the pilot's program skills, the pilot's pilot or program skills as the relevant weapon skill. So you don't have to use any skill to get it up and flying, but if you are just trying to hover it in one place, you have a 2 out of 6 chance of it crashing. But so right now, because you're not in battle or anything, yeah, like you just flip a switch and it like rises out of the box, like hovering. This is a big drone. It's like the size of your torso. And here, I'll put that on the map for you now. So this huge drone like floats up, and this is like a very standard kind of drone that you've seen. Coda is a huge company. They're like the Apple of this world, kind of. So, and I will give you control of that token as well.
Cool.
So yeah, the drone flies up out of the box.
Could I pick up the instruction manual or whatever and see what kind of ammo the gun uses?
No instruction manual, but you could check the clip.
Okay. I'll check the clip.
Yeah, so you like pull the clip out of the drone floating in front of you and look, it's full.
Okay.
By
It's
By the way, in the
kind
future, all guns are 50 calibers, all like older style guns. There's really rarely anything else.
okay. So it's a classic gunpowder.
It is.
Ammo?
This is a TL3 gun. Like it's an actual semi-automatic. It's actually a semi-automatic pistol. It's just got a little longer barrel.
Okay, cool.
Because it's drone mounted. And I'm gonna assign you a character sheet for that drone real fast here.
Okay, I'll fly it to the hallway and follow it out and go further into the doors.
Okay,
While yelling at.
So you have a character sheet. If you go into NPCs, drones, you'll see Kodachrome X. Its range is 2 kilometers, which is very far. Its speed is 30 feet, or 10 meters, I believe.
Where'd you say it was?
No, 30 meters per round. If you go into your journal tab, you should see a folder called NPCs and then one called drones nested in it. Do you see that? Here, everyone. There we go. Now you should be able to see it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see any NPC tab.
Now it should pop up because I realized I had it set wrong. But anyway, there's the character sheet. So you have that. It moves 30 meters per round in combat, but it can move faster out of combat. So yeah, you fly it out into the hallway. And like, you know, as the rest of you are inspecting this man in the tube, like this drone, like kind of, you know, side flies out into the hallway and like balances itself just like waiting.
So this drone just flies out in the hallway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter just kind of turns around, points, and goes, "What the hell is that thing?"
It's a drone I found. It has weapons capabilities. I just thought I'd take it just in case it could help us defend.
Well, send down there to shoot that lady while we run away.
That's the plan, buddy. Let's check the other rooms and see if we can find like an escape pod or something.
I think
maybe this guy could help us.
Yeah, I think while Hikari's messing with the drone, Guy is looking for any sort of like control panel for the sleeping guy.
So there is like a huge like computer array on a desk set up next to it with all kinds of cables and stuff like strung up to the ceiling, running over to it. And it does have like life readings on it. It's got like a heartbeat monitor and a few other things that you recognize. There's a big green button in the middle of the touchscreen. And Guy, why don't you roll a luck save? 13 out of 15. So you click a button and the computer just goes, meh. Nothing happens.
All right.
Wait,
me being like,
do you have a program?
mechanic.
Do you have program level 0?
I don't. I have work.
You have fix as well, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna say just because you don't have the program, looking at the computer screen is it's pretty much gibberish to you. The wiring and stuff now, that makes more sense to you.
Perfect. So, have I possibly seen something like this before? Like, is this common or is this super uncommon?
A pod of this, like you've seen stasis pods. It's a super common technology, being put in cryosleep or stasis, but this is an extremely ornate one. You've never seen one quite like it before. It's got like all kinds of like canisters and weird implements coming off the back of it, and it's quite ornate.
All right. So I look at the screen and I don't I recognize like some basic stuff, but it's like almost too extreme.
Yep. And everyone else, you hear like he reaches out and touches the computer. It's like, bah, bah. Jupiter and Karate do.
I want to run in there behind Guy and like look over his shoulder while he's messing with.
Okay, Karate, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and like look and inspect the actual like sarcophagus.
Okay.
And
why
sorry, go ahead.
don't you make a notice check for me? So go to your character sheet and
think it's 2d6. Hang on.
Well, you can. So if you go into your character sheet on
Yeah.
Roll20 here,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
2d6.
well, you can actually just click it and it will roll that. So I turned edit
Oh,
mode
really? Oh.
off for you. So click on notice, and then it'll ask you to choose a skill, and you're gonna choose wisdom.
Oops. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Wait. So under notice.
So click
It's saying-
notice.
Yeah, it's saying input value.
So input value is going to be 0 on this one. So sometimes there's a conditional modifier, like I'll give you a +1 or 2, you know. But right now it's just
Okay.
0.
And it's gonna be wisdom, you said?
Wisdom, yep.
Okay.
And then if you look in the chat there, you rolled a 9, so that's a success. And so the other thing, you can hover over that 9 in chat, and it will show you what you actually rolled. You rolled a 6 and a 4, and it was -1 because you're not trained in that skill,
Okay.
which equals out to a 9. And so another cool trick, I don't know if you still have your character sheet open in front of you.
Yeah.
If you double click the header, it will minimize it on the map, which is very helpful.
Oh, okay.
And then you can
Got
double click it again to reopen it whenever you're ready. Okay, great. So yeah, you like look over this pod. You notice that he has some kind of IV going into his neck from the pod. And you wonder, and like based on the heart rate on the screen, that kind of thing, just kind of putting 2 and 2 together, you're wondering if he's actually like fine and awake, but they're keeping him sedated.
Okay. Do I notice anything about him physically that's different? Like, what does he look like?
He looks like I said, just the most beautiful human man you could see. Like kind of sandy brown hair. Can't tell what his eye color is, but he looks human. From what you can tell, he just seems like a normal human being, other than being in peak physical condition and very attractive.
I don't know, guys. I don't think we should leave this naked guy here. It feels weird.
Guy kind of shrugs, and he's like, anytime we have a tech problem, Jupiter just punches it.
Sounds good to me.
I was gonna ask, what does the casing look like it's made out of? Like glass or plastic?
Some kind of plexi or glass type substance.
Is there an obvious like latch at one spot?
No, not that you can tell. But there is like
All right.
big panels of glass. Definitely punchable.
Well, then I would like to punch it.
You can roll a punch strength skill for me. I honestly don't even feel like I should make you make the check. This should be an auto success check. I'm just gonna say, yeah, regardless of that, they say in the game book, if it's gonna make your character look incompetent, it's something they're already good at. Then you shouldn't have the player roll. I think say you just fucking bash through the glass and it just like clatters all over the guy and like falls out to your feet all over the cargo bay floor.
At this point, Guy kind of freaks out, and he's like, I meant punch the screen, not punch the man.
Jupiter's just gonna look at Guy weird while he's grabbing this naked man and slinging him over his shoulder, ripping out all wires and like sort of like IVs, like just willy-nilly, just flopping out on the ground.
Okay, as you like start pulling shit out of his neck and his wrists and like all these things he's connected to, and like sling him over your shoulder, he wakes up with like a gasp, and then he's like laying over your shoulders like coughing and retching. Nothing's really coming out, like maybe some phlegm, and then he just kind of moans weakly. You can feel he's got like no power in his body. He's possibly sedated. He's just like a bag of potatoes. He's awake and like looking around, and he's just going, what? And like every time he tries to speak a sentence, he just starts like retching again.
Oh, great. We rescued an idiot.
At this point, like, Guy starts taking off his overalls and is like, can't have anybody be naked.
So does that leave Guy in boxers and a shirt?
You bet it does.
Great.
So while Guy is like got his pants around his ankles, I'm still thinking about the lady coming down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn to karate and yell, let's run. And with my free hand, not holding the naked man, I'm gonna grab the pantsless guy and start running out the door.
All right, so you sling this naked, pantsless man that you've pulled out of the stasis pod over your shoulder, and you run out into the hallway. And I'm assuming the other two, are you gonna follow?
Yeah, I shrug and I'm like, follow him.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think I had a choice. I think he picked me up too.
Yeah, I've got both of them right now. I've got the naked man on one shoulder and Guy in the normal suitcase, like hand grabbed by the back of his shirt in my other hand.
All right. So real quick, let's jump back a minute now, 60 seconds in time, and back over to Hikari. Hikari, as they're inspecting this man, you run further down the hallway.
Yes.
So let me show you what's in these last two cargo bays as you pass by. The first one on your left, inside you see a big, gigantic, like mechanical kind of structure. Also some sort of stasis pod, but not built for a human. Like little irrigators and like tubes and pipes coming off it. Some other like crates and cargo. And in the middle of the pod is this beautiful 3-foot tall, like little bonsai tree with almost like a yellow glow coming out of it.
Oh, okay. Hikari kind of wide-eyed stares at it a little bit because he's from Cantho, and they have trees like this in his home planet as well.
So not exactly like this one. You've never seen one glow like this. You're curious about that.
Yeah, that's why he's staring at it a little bit longer than he's.
So like
too.
As he's like mesmerized by like you look and it's just like this beautiful little twisted green tree like growing in this weird little atrium pod. To your right, you hear like a cocoon in the other cargo hold, and you turn and you see just a gigantic crate, 12 feet long, 8 feet high, and from it, it's like a wooden boxed shipping crate, and gigantic on the side, you see the church, the Gathering of Lazarus symbol on it, and the box like just shakes, like as if someone were punching the wall from the inside of the box, and you hear like a soft moan from inside, like a
he leaves the drone there to watch over the doors, and he
goes into the crate. Falseries?
He goes into the one at the end of the hall. Sorry.
That is still closed with a giant like toothed airlock door.
Okay. So there's no window or anything?
No, it is just says airlock and like huge red and black and yellow stripes, like caution stripes across the door.
Okay. Is there a control panel?
There is a small control panel on this door.
Okay. I'll press it to activate and see what happens.
It is not lit up right now. Or actually, you know what? I think probably you click it and look at it and like numbers are just scrolling past. Do you have a program skill?
No, it's a -1 right now.
Yeah, so it just looks like gibberish to you.
Okay. He'll go.
Obviously, you're probably smart enough to know it's not normal. That's not how the computer, these security panels normally react.
Yeah. Usually it's like a handprint or like a code box.
Or it gives you an interface, in English and
Interface.
asks you something like, type in password. This is just like numbers and binary just flying by on the screen. They actually don't use binary, they use quadrinary because it's quantum computing.
Okay. Hikari's gonna go inside the plant room and search it real fast and see about maybe transporting it out of there.
Okay, so you go into the room and you look around. There's not much, but on one of these little like kind of crates that's set aside, this very kind of nice, expensive looking crates, you see. Hold on here. You see a little card hanging off the side of one of the branches of the tree, and on it is like a company logo.
Do I recognize the logo?
You don't, but like you grab the card with your hand and look at it a little closer, and it says Green Passages Terraforming. And it has like a little tree logo.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's going to be called not Green Passages, but Greener Pastures is a cleverer name. It says Greener Pastures Terraforming.
Okay, so is the plant able to be carried or lifted?
You could pull it out. It's just like a root ball. It's like an aeration, aeroponics. So it's like a root ball at the bottom, and the roots you can see hang down into a clear water tank where it's just like spraying water up. So you could just pull the whole root ball out of the tree.
Okay, I'll do that.
So you pull it out. You have this little 3-foot bonsai tree in your hand. There's like dirt and roots hanging from it.
Yeah, I'll try and put it in my backpack.
Okay, I feel like you could stuff it in, but like the leaves and like foliage of the tree are like sticking up out of your backpack over your head, so you have like a little bonsai behind you.
Cool. And
Much like-
I'll try and be extra careful not to damage it in any way.
You're wearing that tree like Theodore the dog.
Yeah.
So just then, I'm gonna say you step back out with this tree in your backpack, and that's when the other three come rushing down the hallway towards you, with like this naked guy in hand, like retching over your shoulder, over Jupiter's shoulder. Just then, you hear like an even louder like cocoon from this crate to your right, like it's being pounded on from the inside, and you hear someone like scream inside the crate, just like ah! Like a woman's just ear splitting, like she's being murdered inside.
What's the crate made out of?
It's just a wooden, like the simplest wooden shipping crate you could ever see, but it's huge.
Guy kind of looks at Jupiter and is like, I think you know what to do.
Jupiter is gonna take the naked guy and just kind of toss him at Karate. Like ragdoll, like straight into her.
Okay.
And then walk over towards the crate.
Karate, I'm assuming, like stumbles back a couple steps as she like
catch him a little bit and then set him down gently. A little bit more gently.
Jupiter, are you gonna punch a hole through the box?
Jupiter is going to knock lightly on the crate and say, "Hello?"
There's no answer, just like a scraping kind of scratching sound on the inside of the box.
Then Jupiter's gonna knock again and go, "Hello? Is there anybody in there?"
You just hear from inside a quivering kind of noise.
"Are you a human?"
Still no answer. Same thing.
Can I go and inspect? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say the same thing. Can I go and inspect the surround, like around the box, like around the giant box?
Sure. So you kind of like walk around the sides of it, like hurriedly trying to do this as quickly as you can, and you do see a rope hanging off one side, like the side you're on, with a crowbar attached to it.
Rope with a crowbar.
Just like hanging off for like easy access when they're ready to open the box. It seems like.
Oh. I look at the others. I'm like, should we? I mean, we already saved the one dude. There might be somebody in here that needs saving.
So just as you say that, Karate, you hear like as like the other door at the very end of the hallway, the airlock door, like slides open.
Oh shit.
So hearing that, Jupiter's gonna look around frantically, and then he's gonna punch the crate as hard as he can.
Okay, so this is a little harder to punch through. It's not glass, it's wood, so I am gonna make you do a punch strength check one more time for me. A 9, that's a success. So yeah, you just like blow a hole through this, like wood chunks go flying inside the box into the inside of the crate. On the inside of the crate, now you can see there is another gigantic wrought iron cage inside of this crate. And as soon as you like retract your hand through, just like a face like slaps into the hole, like whoo, like this, like here's Johnny style. And it's just this like crazed woman's face with like just bloodshot eyes, completely black pupils, and like all white skin. And she's just like snarling. Her like mouth is salivating, just dripping out of her mouth, just like just like trying to poke her face through this hole. She's pushing so hard against the wooden hole, you can see it's starting to cut into her cheek.
I think this lady has rabies. We should probably leave.
So just then, her face gets like yanked out from behind, and another face pops in. This time it's a man's face, and he just has no lower jaw, just like a tongue hanging down. And same thing, black pupils, red eyes, and white skin. You're starting to assume these might be zombies.
All right, these religious wackos are up to some bad shit. We should get the hell out of here.
The other door at the end of the hall, I can't control the control panel.
It just opened, though.
It's weird. It just opened? Okay.
Yeah,
I think I heard it open.
Yeah, so
I thought you meant the airlock at the other end of the hall from this lady.
I don't think you'd be able to tell from inside the room. No, this closest to the very end of the
Okay.
hall airlock. But as you step out in the hallway, you can now see that airlock has opened up, the one closest to you, like the very end hallway door here has opened up, and inside you see a tiny little salvage mech sitting in like a little mech docking. Oh, can you hear me?
Going on
I cut out. Sorry. If you were talking, I didn't get any of it. So let me keep explaining to you before you go on further there, Ruben. I just want to make sure everyone on stream can hear us okay. Things got a little wonky there. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Can you all hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, so let me continue. So you step back out into the hallway, and you can see that door at the very end of the hallway there has opened, and inside you see a huge airlock room and a tiny little salvage mech parked in a docking station. It's got a claw for one arm, right? Like a little twisty claw for one arm, and the other arm has like a drill on it. And as you look down at the other end of the hallway, you now see this black black-haired pixie cut kind of woman in this really tight leather kind of suit, just like striding down the hallway at you like the fucking Terminator, and a gigantic black drone that is completely silent flying over her right shoulder with like a huge gun mounted on the bottom, and she's just striding at you. And as you walk out in the hallway with this man over your shoulder, she just says, "Give me the Ned," and like points at you and starts just full out fucking sprinting towards the end of the hallway.
Really quick, while that was all going on, the zombie thing, Guy has fully taken his overalls off and put them on the sleeping guy.
Yeah, I thought we had done that. I assumed that it was already finished.
Cool, I just wanted to make sure.
He's not naked, sorry, he's overalled. But she points right at Jupiter, who's holding him, and says, "Give me the Ned," and just like starts sprinting all the way from the far other end of the hallway here.
Can Guy see the mech?
You all see the mech.
I'm gonna say Guy recognizes it, like he knows the kind of mech that it is.
This is I mean, you may not
like
know.
with his work skill. Like I'm just thinking, like from working, it looks the way you described it sounds like it's a work item.
It is. I guess you're right. Yeah, if you're proficient at work, yeah, this is a very common, also Coda brand salvage mech. It's meant for one pilot. It's got a tiny cockpit. I mean, you could all probably squeeze in it, but it would be very uncomfortable. And it is meant for outer space, travel. It is capable of walking also in gravity, but it has boosters. It's meant to be like for salvaging ships that have broken down in space.
Is there space around the mech? Like around the back of it?
No, not yet. That very back airlock door you can see now does have like portholes through, and you can see like a ship airlock where like the mech is supposed to go out, the door closes behind it. And then it airlocks. So like it has atmosphere in that room. You could walk in there.
I'm gonna say Guy kind of rushes to the mech and is like, "Oh, sweet baby, yes."
So this woman's running down the hallway at you. What do you all do? So Guy runs towards the mech.
I start shooting.
Yeah, I take out my my combat rifle and start shooting.
All right, Jupiter, what do you do?
I'm gonna back up towards the locked doors. You said there was a control panel over here, right?
There's a control panel here, yeah. On the outside and probably one on the inside as well. Of the airlock there.
All right, then I'm gonna go through the doors towards the inside control panel.
Okay, so yeah, you step like all the way in there, yeah, to the other control panel. Okay, so let's have. Hey, Car, you're gonna shoot with the drone.
No, I have a better chance with shooting it for myself, but
Okay, roll a 2d6 to see if your drone stays in the air. If you roll a 5 or a 6, it crashes. Or 1d6 rather, 1d6. 5 or a 6, it crashes. It stays steady behind you, and you, I guess, like set the controller down or stuff it in your pack. You don't really have any room in your pack, so you're gonna have to set the controller on the floor to pull out your gun.
Well, no, I have my pistol. I've had my pistol ready since we started.
Okay, you cannot you can't have a pistol ready and pilot a drone. Piloting a drone is a gigantic two-handed controller.
Okay. Can I? Is there autopilot feature on the controller or like a hover?
It's set on hover, but it's very hit or miss. If you're not actively moving it on your turn, you have a automatic 2 out of 6 chance of it failing.
I'll just set the drone down and turn it off then.
Okay, well, it hovered. You already made your check. It's hovering this turn, so you could hold the controller one-handed and pull out your pistol with the other hand now and take a shot. I'm just making sure the actions here make sense. So you pull out your pistol. Why don't you roll an attack with your pistol? And Karate, why don't you roll an attack with your gun? You really just have to click on the gun or the attack for that gun on your character sheet. And her armor class is 16. So Falsari's, your shot missed. Or excuse me, Hikari, your shot missed. Karate, you hit with that 21 and you deal 6 damage to her.
Sweet.
Her HP, I need to roll for as well. The bullet, like, boom, like pierces right through her shoulder, and she does not break her eye contact.
Can I re-roll?
For expert? Yeah, sure. She doesn't break eye contact as your bullet like literally just like tears a hole through her chest. She just keeps walking, doesn't even lose pace at all as she walks right through the bullet. 11 also misses. The second bullet just like whizzes past her and she keeps walking towards you, seemingly unfazed. Just then, her drone starts firing.
Ooh.
It fires at Karate first. For a 5, which is a miss, I think. Your armor class is definitely more than a 5. If you click on your token, the blue bubble tells you what your armor class is. The red bubble.
Okay, so red bubble?
Or, excuse me, the green bubble is your HP, the blue bubble is your armor class.
Okay, my armor class is 13.
Yeah, so she shoots and misses. It, like, bounces off down the hallway past you. Her drone misses, rather. Yeah, so she's still advancing at you with her drone, and we're not really doing like a full-on combat or initiative right now, so I'll let you guys kind of free move your turn. What do y'all want to do? You want to continue fighting? Or why don't we jump real quick to Jupiter? Jupiter, what are you doing back there with the mech, Jupiter and Guy?
Yeah, let me put my token back there. I definitely am trying to climb into this mech.
All right, Guy, you climb up into the mech, and you want to turn it on. The keys are hanging out of the ignition.
Yeah, I turn it on.
It like fires up, like headlights turn on and beam down the hallway, and like the mech like stands up.
And Guy kind of looks down at the android woman that's running, and then he looks at Karate, and he just goes like, "Get away from her, you very nasty woman."
She just says, "Give me the Ned and I'll leave you alone," and she keeps like storming down the hallway towards you, seemingly unfazed by the mech.
Is she running or is she like stomped? Like, does that make sense? Is she like...
At first she was running, but as soon as you started firing, she slowed down. She also has not drawn a gun. She's just like now like striding towards you with the drone floating behind her.
All right, I'm going to say that Guy starts piloting the drone towards her. Not the drone, the mech, yeah.
Down the hallway? All right, why don't you make a... I'm going to say I'll let you do a work intelligence check to see how well you pilot the drone toward her. Are you going to try and like drill her with a drill arm? If you're talking, I can't hear you, Guy.
I forgot about that. I'm trying to make sure that I am the front line of defense. Like, I'm not trying to like attack yet. I'm just trying to make sure that I get in front of everyone else.
Okay. So you fly the mech. Here, let me put that mech on the right layer here. 0. I don't know why it came out as a 0. Oh, if you put in 0 for your intelligence. I'm not sure why I rolled 0. Anyway, you rolled a 6, actually. It was a 5 and a 1. So you're not...
Cool.
You are successful. So also like the hatch of the drone or the mech is still open. Like this is an airtight mech, but like you have like the visor pulled back and like everyone can see you sitting up in it, and you start flying it down the hallway. And as you fly it past your teammates, it is like the exact width of this hallway. So
Oh, no.
you have a chance of you actually bowl right over the Coda drone. You just like crush it as this mech like cocoon like walks with these giant metallic kind of birds type feet down the hallway. Hikari and Karate, why don't both of you make a evasion saving throw for me to see if you can dive out of the way in time. So at the very top of your sheet it says saving throws, V15 physical, V15 mental. Click the one that says evasion, where it says, Rara, yours says V14 for evasion.
V14, okay.
You both fail. And you both take 3 damage as you're like forced now into that side room by the mech as like guy comes just like boom, like running down the hallway in this thing. You're both like shoved in as like you get knocked away from kind of the pincer arm, but you do take some damage where this giant mech runs past you. So
and I think guys apologizing like super heavily the whole time.
And you destroy the Coda.
So we take, you said 3 damage?
3 damage each. So if you can click on your token too, and in the green bubble, click the green bubble, type -3 and press enter, and it'll do the math automatically for you. Or you can go to your sheet and type it in there too. All right, and I feel like I should put a token out for this woman real quick so you can see where she actually is now. Let me put out an appropriate token here. Here, we'll grab this little anime picture real quick because that looks great. Oops, hold on 1 second, guys, while I put her token out for you. Save image. She's huge. All right, there we go.
You said she has a drone with her as well, though, correct?
And yeah, I actually have that. Let me put the drone out as well. There you go. You can see her little drone flying with her there.
So Guy is essentially blocking the hallway with this mech, correct?
Yeah, right now you're actually blocking the door of the room that those two are in as well. Well, I guess I could say you probably noticed that you knocked them in there and decided to come one more square forward.
Yeah, I want to make sure that they have a way to get out, that I'm not like that everyone behind me is behind me.
So she like stops in the hallway in front of the mech and she's like, just give me the Ned and I'll leave. She's like, he's not your property. He's not property at all.
What's a Ned?
She says, that man over his shoulder, and she like points past the mech. She's like, neurological embryo droid. And he is ours.
Oh.
Jupiter's gonna yell out from the other side of the double doors. Who are you?
Sorry, my like audio was echoing through your headphones. Say that
That was
again.
weird.
Jupiter asked who she was.
Man, that's weird. I'm hearing things I said like 30 seconds ago come through your mic. Jake, maybe disconnect and reconnect real fast. We're having all kinds of audio issues tonight. Just like leave the call and pop back in if you can.
I just always forget to do it in these video calls.
Now I can hear you fine. I don't know.
Wait, you're good.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I was just asking who she was.
Okay. She says, she's like, that's none of your business.
And Guy kind of flashes a smile at her, and he's like, look, we'll tell you who we are if you tell us who you are.
She's like, my name is Octavia. She says, I am the captain of the Free Alliance, and I am taking him home. And she starts like walking closer to the mech. She takes a tentative step closer.
Guy says, hi, Octavia. I'm Guy. Behind me is Hamburglar, Jabberjaw, and Ketamine Jumpsuit.
She's like,
I guess
what?
we're all walking.
She's like, I don't care. Do you say something to her, Karate?
No, but like Ned is behind us, right? Still?
Yeah,
Is he still retching?
He's just like pretty much passed out, or like kind of softly sobbing over the shoulder of Jupiter.
So Jupiter's kind of thinking, but he kind of turns around and holding Ned out, he says, "Hey, whoa, we thought we were saving him from you opening the airlocks."
She's like,
we're just trying to help.
She's like, you save him. She's like, I'm saving him from those filthy fucking mercenaries.
Oh,
But why'd you kill those people?
She's like, the Cervantes Corporation is shipping one of our people across the world to hand over to Canos and the Legion. She's like, they're fucking evil too, just as bad as those goddamn mercenaries.
That doesn't give you the right to kill innocent people for no reason.
She's like, we're in a war if you don't know, kid. She's like, I'm gonna destroy this whole fucking ship whether you like it or not. Now give me the Ned.
Hey, whoa.
Well, then why would we give him to you?
One at a time.
Hey. I don't like the Cervantes Corporation either. I'm their biggest enemy, actually. Their number one enemy, in fact. But if we start killing innocent people, we're just not, we're just as bad as them. So, like, chill out with that whole thing, all right, lady? You can have your Ned, but, you're going to have to answer for your crimes.
She's like, give me the Ned and we won't destroy the whole ship. She, like, turns her head, like, looking away from you, like, at the wall. And, like, puts her finger on her ear. And then, like, turns back to you. You wonder if she was just conversating with someone in her head, or her internal comms.
We can't trust the word of someone who's ready to kill dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of people's lives on a whim. So either you back off, or we'll continue firing.
She's like, that would be your last fucking mistake. She's like, give me the Ned now. And just as she says that, you see in vac suits coming from the airlock behind you, like coming through, like the airlock door at the very end of the hallway where you originally came from, like opens, and two dust wolves step through in like full vac suits. And the airlock door like closes behind them. And one of them like yells like, there she is, and they start running down the hallway. And she like, oh fuck, and she turns around and pulls a pistol out of her hip holster and just starts like cool, like firing, and like a full-on gun battle breaks out.
I immediately fire at her back when she turns around. If there's room between the machine.
Wait, you're gonna shoot the lady?
Fuck yeah.
Wait, hold on. I don't think we should shoot her.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be the good guy.
She killed like dozens.
She killed the dust wolves that we also killed.
No, she killed crew members of this ship.
This is not an in-character.
Hired.
This is not an in-character conversation, so please go ahead and roll that attack roll.
Oh no.
We'll give it a +2 because her back is turned. +2 to hit. Sorry, y'all don't really get to conversate about it. Man, why does it keep doing that 0 thing? That's weird. We gotta figure out what's causing that. So you
rolled 20 total.
A 17 +1 +2, a 20, which is definitely a hit for 3 damage. And your bullet like pierces through her back shoulder blade, and you hear her like like wince as she like falls down on one knee and like just keeps like firing at these dust wolves down the hallway. They've now like ducked into one of the security hatches and are shooting down at you as well. Bullets are like whizzing by you, like ripping into the hull of the ship.
I think Guy's gonna call out to her and be like, and he's gonna call out, move. And he's gonna start piloting the mech towards the dust wolves.
Oh man. All right. How many hit points did you guys take from her before? 6, right? So she's -9 total. Okay. She has really nowhere to go. She would have to go closer to them. So she actually just drops flat. So she turns and looks at the drone, and then the mech rather, and then drops flat on the floor, like prone, planking face down, so you can like walk right over her.
Cool.
And as you do, you crush her drone in the process too. Like
that's
your
fine.
your like drill arm hits it and it like bing bing like like bounces a bunch of different ways like a drone does when it hits something, like bounces off the wall and just like hits the floor, and then your like metallic foot just like crunches down on it.
We'll pay for that. Sorry.
So you're gonna try and hit these guys now with the mech?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that drill arm on these guys.
Okay, one more time, make a pilot intelligence check or a work intelligence check for me. All right. So, yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll? I'm going to say, I don't know how much a drill arm would do to a human. I feel like it's a lot. Why don't you roll me 2d8 damage? So in chat, you can just type /R space 2d8 and then press enter, just like that I typed in there. There you go. So you got a 5. Yeah, you just like drill a hole through the first one's like torso, and he just like screams in horror, like ah! And, like blood is just like flying out of his spacesuit and out of the drill arm, just like spraying all over his friend's vac suit right next to him. His friend like shoots up at you inside of the cockpit. Let me roll.
I'm gonna say guy also instantly vomits because he's not sure what he expected, but he did not expect that.
It's extremely gory. The other Dust Wolf is gonna fire off. He's got an SMG. He takes a single shot at you. And he's gonna have a -1 modifier because you're in melee range. Actually, technically, you get an opportunity attack on this guy because he is taking a range attack at you from close range. So why don't you make... What's your work skill? It's level 0 or level 1?
0.
What's your attack bonus?
Where do I find that?
It'll say at top left of your sheet, like your base attack bonus, like under your name, under your character's name.
Attack bonus 0.
Okay, so you're just gonna roll a straight d20 for me to see if you hit him. So same thing. There you go. Oh, you rolled a critical hit.
Oh no!
Oh fuck!
And the clamp arm does a little less damage, 2d6, but you get to roll 4d6 damage because it's a critical. You double the dice. So /R space 4d6.
Damn.
And before he's even able to get a shot off at you, you literally just like grab him by like not quite the torso. You have him kind of by the chin and torso because this claw arm's big. And like from here to here, he just like crushes in front of you and pops, and just gore and viscera fucking pop out of him as his friend's still just like ah! Like throwing up blood, like impaled on your drill arm. It's just an absolute fucking mess. But they're both dead.
Guy's just been vomiting this entire time.
All right, so they kind of fall down dead. Octavia stands up between all of you and like looks at the mech and turns back and looks at all of you. And she's like, look, we got to get out of here. They're going to send more. And we obviously need to talk more about this. She's like, but I'm not letting you take the Ned. She's like, come with me.
Oh, it was a good thing you said that because I was just about to say that. Hikaru was like pointing up his gun and saying, can you get us out of here?
And
like,
she's like,
yes, we'll go, we'll leave.
She's like, we're going to need your little mech.
Do I have a way to turn it around?
Not
I know
without
you said that
walking it backwards all the way down the hall.
Yeah, I put it in reverse.
Okay. Does everyone like go down to the airlock as the mech starts walking backwards towards you, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
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 So yeah, you all go ahead and move your tokens down there for me. Octavia comes with you, and Guy like backs this cute little Coda mech back into the airlock and starts turning it around. And you can all see that like the size of this cockpit is literally like, it's like a driver's seat in a semi truck, you know, with no passenger seat. It's just like a big driver's seat with like maybe 4 feet of extra room around it. You are all gonna have to like cram into this thing. Guy is not really gonna even be able to see out of the viewfinder when you all cram in there.
Guy kind of looks back at the carnage, and he kind of looks at like Hikari and everyone else, and he's like, do you think they're gonna be okay?
I think with a couple band-aids and some aloe vera cream, they'll be just fine, Guy. And he pats him on the shoulder.
And I'm taking off my prosthetic legs in order to make more room.
Nice. Guy sees you doing this and he's like, oh, and he like hits a button on the dashboard and like a little trunk cargo hatch like bloop, bloop, like pops open in the back for you to put your legs into.
Sweet. Thanks, dude.
I'm gonna look at Octavia and say, hey, did you say this guy was a droid?
She's like, yes, he's an extremely advanced pre-scream droid. She's like, be careful with him.
I'm gonna stuff him in the cargo hold too.
He's just like sobbing, like, why are you doing this? Like retching as you like just like close him up in this trunk. And she's like, I'll choose not to mention that to Mina when we get back to Free Home.
He can survive in the vacuum.
I mean, you assume the trunk is airtight, and he is an android, yeah, as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Octavia we know can too, but I'm not gonna make her wait outside.
She's like, I don't like seeing him like that. She's like, Mina can never know about this. She's like, but we got to get the fuck out of here. So whatever. And she like climbs in on top of all of the rest of you, like just like literally crotch in Guy's face, like over all of you. And she's like, all right, close the hatch. And Guy like hits the button and it just like, coom, like closes around you. And a big AR like augmented reality screen like whoop, pops up. You have like you can't. There's actually no windows or portholes. You just see like a video display, like in 360 and like this dome around you. But you can hardly see it because you're all packed in there. And like once the thing closes, Octavia's like, so the computer systems told me that all of the airlocks are down. We're gonna have to drill through the bulkhead.
All right, let's do it.
She's like, do you think you can handle that, Guy? Guy?
Press to talk, bro.
Sorry, didn't go through.
That's all right.
Guy like gives a thumbs up and he's like, yeah, this is easy peasy work.
All right, so Guy, you turn like turn this mech sideways, like take 2 steps towards the like the hull of the ship, the bulkhead, and just like start ramming this bloody drill into the metal. Sparks are just flying. You can hear like just the screaming sound of metal tearing as you're starting to like rip a hole in this thing. But you know how to use one of these scavenger droids. So as soon as mechs. So as soon as you get the hole, you like take the drill out. You take your pincer arm, like grab onto the hole, and just start like tearing chunks away of the bulkhead. And things are just like whipping out into the vacuum of space. The tiger, I'm sorry, is dead. You've killed
We forgot about the tiger.
You've killed a priceless animal, but after about 5 minutes of ripping, you rip a hole large enough into the side of the ship that the mech like takes 2 steps. And then like you like lean forward on the 6 and it just like leans out and then like little boosters like just like push you out into the vacuum of space. And you like float and like spin it around and come to, and you can see the whole ship, the entire Cervantes Nightingale stretched out in front of you. Where the crew quarters were before, just completely gone, just a huge airlock there. And Octavia's like fly around to the bottom side of the ship, and like you fly around and she says, that's our vessel. And like you look up and there's this tiny little like free merchant sized spacecraft like latched onto the bottom side of the Nightingale. She's like, she's like, we're gonna have to get some vac suits or something. Are there vac suits in here? We can't fit this whole mech into our ship.
Do we do a notice check?
You can do I'm gonna say just a luck check.
A luck check. Okay.
Let's do a group luck check to see how many vac suits may or may not be included. Oh, Guy's got one. Oh, so you won't. I have to add the luck save to your sheet real quick, Rara. I forgot. It's not a standard. It's something from the previous edition that you can add in. Let me add it to your sheet real quick.
Okay.
Where's your sheet? There we go. Add a luck save. There you go. It should show up next to your other saving throws now. At the very top there.
Okay.
You dig up one. Guy's like, oh well, these machines are only equipped for one, and like you hit a little cargo button, Guy, and like a hatch in the floor like slides open, and you reach out and pull out like the single vac suit that's in there.
And I think Guy's also just stoked that he technically has pants on now.
Mm-hmm. True. So Guy, you're gonna pull on the vac suit.
Oh, absolutely.
So the rest of you can probably survive in the vacuum of space for about 1.5 seconds, maybe 2. But you will become extremely irradiated in crossing over into the airlock. But you'll probably survive.
All right. So how are we going to time this so that we don't all die?
Octavia's like, well, I am communicating with my pilot right now. We'll have them open the hatch when the time is perfect, and you'll just have to jump through space into the airlock, and I'll give her the message as soon as we cross the barrier.
Whoever has the vac suit on has to get the. Well, no, I guess Octavia can just grab the Ned.
She's like, yeah, don't worry about that. She's like, I'm just gonna leave the mech floating right here. I'll come back out after all of you are in the ship.
Okay.
I gotta grab my legs, so I gotta hold on to somebody because there's no way I'm gonna be able to put my legs back on.
She's like, don't worry, I'll get them out of the cargo hatch for you. Just make it into the airlock so we can turn on the gravity and re-atmospherize the room.
Wait, so do I have a C-3PO hanging off my back now in the form of karate?
Yes. You have a karate backpack.
All right, so I'm guessing that whoever has the vac suit has some boosters on it that could propel us into.
It does have little boosters, yeah. But also, Octavia was kind of like, just use your legs, just jump out, push yourself out into space as fast as you can.
Easy for you to say.
She's like, I don't know what else to tell you. She's like, you would definitely get killed by the dust wolves on that ship. This is your only chance.
All right, I'm just gonna hold on to one of you guys.
All right,
guys were in the vac suit, and he kind of he motions to karate, and he's like, I got you.
All right, I hold on to his waist.
All right, so everyone who is going to be unprotected in space, make a physical saving throw for me real fast.
Physical saving throw.
There's actually rules on surviving the vacuum of space, but I don't remember exactly what they are right now. This seems appropriate. Oof.
Oof, do we not make it?
I mean, you don't die. I'm just gonna say that's just you trying to So Jupiter and Karate both lose consciousness as you guys are you ready? 3, 2, 1 hits the button, and this hatch you line up with the airlock of their ship, and their ship has a little ship bay in it for a cargo transport to come in and out. So it's kind of like a force field that you can just jump through. You know what I mean? And they line it up 3 feet apart, really very close to each other. So the mech is floating tilted with its kind of dome head right in front of the airlock. And guys here we go, and presses the button, and boom, the visor slides back, and you all just jump and push out in this big mass of people towards the airlock. I'm gonna say Karate and Hikari, you are both brought to 0 hit points. Or I'm gonna say.
Wait, no, I made my save.
Yeah, sorry, Jupiter and Karate. You're not dead, you're just at 1 hit point unconscious, as if you had taken full hit point damage in combat and then been stabilized, if that makes sense. So you're unconscious when you come to the other side. It's gonna take you a while to heal those points back. But yeah, so as you jump out, you fly through, you come through this kind of membrane into this kind of ship bay on their small little ship attached to the bottom of the Nightingale here. And as you come through, Octavia shouts Celia, now! And suddenly the anti-grav turns on, and you all just boom, hit the floor on the other side as you cross through the freezing cold vacuum of space. Hikari, crystals just grow on your face. You can feel your eyes trying to tear out of your head. And then you hit that membrane, and boom, it all goes away in a second, and you all just slap the floor on the other side. Everyone makes it across safely except for Karate and Jupiter, who are unconscious and at 1 hit point. Yeah, and you've made it into, let me see, I think I wrote down what their ship was called. I didn't give a name to their ship. Oh, yes, I did. They fly the SS Panther. It is an Eradnus model made by Nostero Aerospace. That's not really important. But you make it into the spaceship Panther, like through their little airlock and hit the floor. And yeah, as soon as that happens, kind of a beautiful young child walks out of like the airlock door or the cargo door into the airlock. And it's like, how did it go, Octavia? This literally looks like a 9-year-old girl to you in like full on like, you know, space captain, space pilot regalia. Like wearing a pilot jumpsuit and all this stuff. She's like, Octavia, how did it go? And Octavia's like, I'll tell you once we get them back to the med bay. She's like, come on, help me. And this little girl comes out and it's like picks up Jupiter with like both hands and like lifts him above her head and like starts walking out of the cargo bay and into the hallways, like leading Hikari and Guy.
Is Ned with us yet? The Ned?
And Octavia's like, I have to go back out and get Ned and also her legs. And Celia is like, okay, I'll hit the airlock, you know, as soon as we leave. And so you walk out and she like hits a button and you see the airlock opens back up and Octavia like jumps back out to the mech. And then you guys turn a corner and she's out of sight. And she leads you to a med bay. This is a tiny little ship. It's like 8 hallways and like 10 rooms and then a little bridge up top that you have to like climb a ladder to get to. She takes you to a medical bay with like just a simple single medical table, you know, in the middle and some kind of mechanical medical tool arms kind of hanging over the top, and a few chairs lining the wall. And she's like, you can stay here for now. She's like, don't leave the med bay. We'll be back as soon as we get the Ned. Just wait here. This is this like 9-year-old girl talking to you, Hikari and Guy. I should probably do a voice for her.
Guy kind of gets down on her level, so their eye level, and he's like, "Aren't you the sweetest? Like you're a great little captain. And when they get back in here with my overalls, I got a lollipop just for you."
So as you like lean down and say this to her, she looks at you with like a super serious look and like grabs you by the throat and immediately like completely cuts off your airways. You're choking, and she's like, "Never fucking say that to me again." And she like turns and walks out.
And Guy kind of like is like, "Oh, somebody needs a nap, and that's okay."
Luckily she's gone, so she won't kill you for saying that. So y'all, we can go for like another 30 minutes if you want. But this would be a good place to end it. It's your call.
I'm down for whatever.
I'm fine either way.
Since I'm passed out, I think I'm good, right? I can just catch up next time.
There's other stuff. We always do goals at the end of the session. We also do an after the show that takes about 10 minutes. But I was gonna say, why don't we end there?
Sounds good.
Gameplay wise, as you board the spaceship Panther with these two this android woman and this android child, and the Ned. And yeah, so we'll come back next time with Karate and Jupiter recovering from their exposure to the vacuum of space. And real quick before we go, so this is where we talk about goals. So those of you that already had goals, let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter, what were the goals we set for you last time?
Well, I can pull them up.
Sure, no worries.
My short-term goal was looking for the Preceptor archive on Asta.
That's your short term? That seems like a long term.
Well, like that was kind of like the main one we talked about last time, I guess.
Oh, I thought we had talked.
Other character building goal was more like looking for relics and stuff like that to take back to.
I thought we had decided your immediate goal was to get your teammates off the ship safely.
Oh, no. That wasn't mine. Mine was, I mean, kind of was, but mine was more like die honorably.
No, well, they all, like, we set an immediate goal for you to try and finish the following session, and they both picked escape this spaceship, escape this android woman safely. And yours was help them escape safely with whatever happens to you. Like, whether you die or not, you just want to say it, right? Isn't that what we talked about? I believe so.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I think I put more emphasis on like dying than that. Like, I really want to save them, but like, if I die, that'd be a plus.
So you're saying you didn't accomplish your goal?
I got like half of it.
Okay.
Like 50-50.
We'll give you 1 XP then. Or I think I said I'd give you 1 XP for each teammate you saved. And if you died, I would have given you a third one, but that wouldn't help.
Yeah.
I think that is what we talked about. So you get 2 XP. Hikari, what was your goal?
Mine was discover what the Dust Wolves are hiding for 2 XP and then leave the ship for 1.
Okay, so you're gonna get 3 XP. You discover what they were hiding. It was this Ned droid.
Cool.
This Ned android, and you get the 1 XP for escaping the ship, and that actually is gonna level you up to level 2. It's 3 XP to level 2. So, congratulations.
I reroll my hit dice, right?
You reroll all your hit dice. Yeah, right. So you roll your level 1 and level 2 hit dice, and that's your new total. Let's do Guy real quick. Yours was the same, Guy, right? It was get off the ship safely. Or read them to me. Tell me what they were.
Get off the Nightingale, and then my second one was get friends off Nightingale.
Okay, and do we put values on those?
We did not.
Okay, I thought we discussed it was the same, pretty much. I think we'll give you 3 XP too. 2 for each, 1 for each friend you got off, and 1 for getting yourself off. So you also hit level 2.
Cool. You will have to teach me how to level up, but
yeah, we can do that in our own time. And one thing I will say about this game is you will all level up at different speeds depending on how you achieve your goals. But like when you get like, so now Jupiter might be a little behind you guys, but like once he hits his big main story goal, then he might level up like 2 levels at once. You know, it can be, it's kind of when it rains, it pours with the XP in this game. And then so let's talk about new goals really quick, and let's start with karate. So karate, we want to set, you already have 1 goal, I believe, that we set ahead of time. It was like your bigger
that was my long-term goal.
Right. So let's set a short-term goal that you think you could complete in the next 2 or 3 sessions. It can be something as simple as like, you know, make new friends to find information about X and X. It can be anything, and you can get partial credit for at least attempting to do your goal as well. This is how we level up in this game. You don't get any XP for battle. You don't get any XP for playing well, just for acting on the goals that your character wants to do. So can you think of anything, maybe something relating to these androids you've just met, or?
Yeah, I was thinking that since we both seem to be enemies of Cervantes Corp, of forming like an alliance with them, like between, you know, the rebel, basically like the rebel alliance that I'm trying to start and whatever group they are, trying to form an alliance.
Okay, sure. So to quantify it more, maybe it's become a member of whatever their organization is, or vice versa, have them become a member of the organization you're trying to start, whatever, either or. Does that sound good?
Yep, that sounds good.
Great. And I think if you join their organization, it's just going to be a flat 2 XP. If you get them to start joining a new organization you're starting, we'll give you 1 XP per person that joins. If that makes sense, because that way you could kind of keep that goal going for a little bit too, if you wanted, after you, if you were successful. But yeah, mark that down in your character sheet. I believe there's a goals section. I don't remember though. Is there, guys? Yeah, very bottom there's a goals under miscellaneous. So type those in. Do me a favor and denote the XP amounts, because I won't remember them in the future either. And let's go to someone else. Let's go back around. So Jupiter, you have a short-term goal you can set. You think you complete in the next 2 to 3 sessions of play. That's something that Jupiter would be passionate about or want to achieve.
Considering our current situation where we're on this other ship with the Freedom Fighter Alliance, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So Jupiter would be looking for one of 2 things. To either, you know, kind of volunteer for a suicide mission or do something to further their cause and die doing it, or to find some bit of information he can sell back to Kanos, his home planet, to get them to help take over these people's planet.
So why don't you do this for me? Make a no intelligence check real fast. I just want to see how much you know about the Free Alliance.
Sorry, I gotta take it off edit mode.
Sure. And I'll give you a +2 because you're from Kanos. because it is related. A 10, yeah. You're completely aware of who the Free Alliance is. There is a lot of strife on Kanos between androids and worker bots, not just androids, all virtual intelligences, and the Kanosian Legion. The Legion is, as you know, very warlike. They're trying to expand their influence in this galaxy and start new wars, and they've been subjugating androids and paying for androids and worker bots to be built for their society for years, because the human members of the society are expected to be in the military and do all this other stuff. They don't really have a lot to expend on manufacturing and workers, so pretty much the entire workforce of the planet Kanos is virtual intelligences, and a huge amount of strife. Now that this war has been going on, they're pressing them to manufacture even more and not giving them any benefits. They refuse to give them rights as if they were people, so a huge amount of androids are jumping off planet or trying to escape. And that's how the Free Alliance started. They're called the Free Alliance of Synthetic Persons, and they're fairly well known, although what's known about them is mostly rumor. They're considered a criminal organization, that kind of thing. You don't even know where they're based out of, but you've heard of them. So yeah, I think like getting information on them to give back to Kanos, or like finding valuable information on the Free Alliance would be a good one.
All right, I will add that.
And just put 1 to 3 XP, depending on how much or what the value of the information. If it's very valuable. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and then like I really do want to keep up the, like, if I didn't die, I didn't get my complete goal.
Sure.
For like that week. Like, I like handicapping myself like that.
I think it's hard to incentivize with XP dying because you won't get it.
No, I know, but like I never want to get my full XP.
Well, I mean, I would have given you a higher. I think 1 to 3 is good for that goal still. Even so, we'll just see what the results are. Okay. Based on the results, we'll decide how much you get. But 3 being the maximum amount you could possibly get for something like that. All right, great. Who's next? Who else has ideas for goals for next session?
I got one.
Okay. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I have to I did. Whenever I hold down my push to talk key, it always like tries to find a text box. So mine actually came last minute, which is awesome that it showed up right at the last minute. So, I mean, even in the story, Guy has never met a child that doesn't like him. So his goal is to get, the girl's name is Celia, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
His goal is to get Celia to positively take a lollipop from him and enjoy it. That's
fucking great. I love it. I'll give you 2 XP if you can get her. I'll give you 1 XP if she takes it, 2 if she enjoys it. That's so good.
Perfect.
What a great, it's just so Guy, it's very Guy. Oh, can you all hear me? I think my audio cut out. You still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Hikari, you're the last one. Or no, yeah, we did one for karate already, right?
Yeah.
Hikari, what's your idea for a goal?
I have 2, if possible.
Okay.
One is to identify the plant that's on my back, and the other is to learn more about the Ned.
Okay.
His origin, his creation, and such.
Okay, learn the origin of the Ned. I think that's a good one. We'll say you give it 1 XP for that. And for the tree, because I think that'll take a little longer, I'll give you 3 XP if you can discover. Or let's say 2. I'll give you 2 if you can discover what the tree is or the origin. Those are both very good as well. Awesome. Well, that's it for this episode of Space Case, I think. Thank you again, everyone who tuned in. Real quick, let's go around and each of you give me a quick 30-second plug for what you got going on in your life so our viewers at home can check you out. And our listeners at home can check you out. And let's go back around because Rara, it's your first session. What do you got going on?
Well, I host if you live in the Atlanta, Georgia area, I co-host a live nerdy talk show called Nerdlanta every second and fourth Sunday. And you can follow me on Instagram, Rara from Guam, or Twitter, Island Goth. Mostly talk about politics and stuff on Twitter, but do occasionally talk about nerd stuff. So.
Hell yeah! Thank you so much, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hikari, you want to give them your plug real fast?
Yeah. I have an Ilvermorny campaign that I DM every Monday. We're in the middle of a festival in New Orleans with the students gathering their supplies, and we're going to be heading to school soon. So tune in for that.
And that's right here on the Chop Shop Network, and we are going to be putting that out as a podcast as well soon. So those of you that don't like to watch but prefer to listen, that will be available for you as well soon. But yeah, that's right here on the Chop Shop Network. Let's see, Guy Flanell, Ruben.
Yes, I host a podcast called Kid Tested Mother Approved. I host it with my mom. Each week we pick a theme, our theme is given to us, and then we choose a movie to watch based on that theme. This week we're doing a two-parter. Last week was Good Dads. This week is Bad Dads. And I'm very excited for that because I have to watch Say Anything, and I legitimately just forgot what I gave my mom, but it's not something great.
And lastly, Jake, Easy Sailor, professional troll, Meaty Mike's official spokesperson. Is there a message from our sponsor? Oh, I can't hear you.
Push to talk.
Push talk.
I pulled a Ruben. I'm sorry. Yeah, the official Meaty Mike's message is you can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat. So eat your meat so you can get your meat pudding. Twitter.com/MeatyCorp. It's core.
Meaty Corp.
Meaty Corp.
Pronounced core.
Yeah, and you can also check Meaty Corp out at Meaty Mike's on Instagram. Yeah, that is our cast. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. Those of you that are listening on podcast, thanks for doing so. Make sure you hit the follow, rate, and review us. That stuff really helps us. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, please smash that subscribe button. And if you are watching on Twitch or listening on podcast, we're going to do a really quick, we always do a 10-minute after the show conversation off stream. It only goes to YouTube. It's YouTube exclusive. We talk about the episode we just had, what we think about it. It's fun. We do a little recap. So make sure you follow us, sub to us on YouTube, because you will get to check out that exclusive Space Case content. Yeah, and we will see you all then. Thanks so much. Shop, shop.